Hi guys, welcome to a new episode. We're going to be working on Unit 11, Lessons 1 and 2. Our main topic of the day is making the right choices. When I say this topic, I want you to visualize and imagine the life choices that we make every day. And I want you to consider how healthy is it to be taking such a choice. Is it good for you, good for your family? And is it the best that suits your current situation or not? It's very good for us to connect what we read to our real lives so that we can help improve and make the best choices for ourselves. Now we're going to be looking at our objectives of Lesson 1, Unit 11. So let's look together. Now, we're going to be talking about problems at home and at school that you might be facing. And we're going to read a blog and answer questions. So we're going to be looking at the picture at the top of our slide, and I want you to visualize, why are we looking at a road? This could be probably because we have to make choices when we're on the road. We can either go right or go left or go straight or even go back in reverse. So basically, making the right choices requires us to be very conscious and aware of our surrounding and the effect on us and others as well. Now, I want you to watch the video and I want you to consider and take notes on what it might be about so that we can discuss it together. So I want you guys to consider what is the video about. Please share your ideas. How many of you wake up in the morning and automatically the first thing you think of is your phone, and you grab it and you take a look at the notifications and the messages, and you open your social media accounts and you consider others before you consider what you have to do during your day? I'm sure all of us go through this, and all of us have our own addictions or things that we cannot stop doing. Now let's look at question 1. Can you think of something that you do too often and can't stop doing? So I want you to think about something that you do a lot of times and it's hard for you to stop. We all have good habits and bad habits. So let's take a look at our next slide. Now, this is basically a blog written about a student called Sameh, and we're going to be learning what happened to Sameh. Sameh was a student in my class. He was a successful student. He always worked hard and he was very good at English and maths. However, he slowly changed and he stopped studying. I don't know for sure what changed Sameh. He smoked all the time. He might have become addicted to smoking. He should have talked to his parents, his friends, or his teachers. They might have helped him with his problems. However, he coughed all the time and he became very ill. The doctors told Sameh that he had lung disease from too much smoking. He spent a lot of time in hospital and he didn't spend enough time studying, so he did not pass any of his exams that year. It must have been very difficult for Sameh. He didn't like being ill. He must have regretted starting to smoke. However, life is better for Sameh now. I saw him last week. He had an operation and he is healthy now. He has stopped smoking and has started to study again. I'm sure he will pass his exams this year. So basically, this is a blog that is written by maybe a teacher who was discussing something that one of his students is addicted to, which is smoking. Now, we have looked at 4 new vocabulary words. The first one is addicted. The second one is lung disease. The third is pass. And the fourth is operation. Now, guys, tell me, what couldn't Sameh stop doing? Please write your answers in your notebook. We're going to go to the next exercise, which is basically which of the words in red means the following. So number 1 is already done for you, but we can read it together. Be successful in an exam. If you are becoming successful in an exam, that means you get a grade that allows you to move on to the next year. In that case, the word is pass. Number 2, an illness. I want you to consider the illnesses that we have or that some people have to suffer from, and we could automatically think of lung disease. So lung disease is a disease that or an illness that affects your lungs, it affects your breathing and so on. If we look at number 3, unable to stop doing something. So I want you to close your eyes and visualize what is something that you cannot stop doing. And in that case, automatically you will think of the word addicted. We can be addicted to our phones. We can be addicted to bad habits such as smoking. We can be addicted to shopping. We can be addicted to anything that is in excess. If you do something too much and you cannot stop it, that's probably an addiction, or you are addicted to something. Number 4, an organ which helps you breathe. An organ which helps you breathe is automatically your lung, definitely. Now, we have many organs in our bodies, such as our hearts, our livers, and our lungs. Let's look at number 5. When a doctor cuts into your body to help you get better. So basically, anyone who's going into the hospital to have a doctor open up a part of his body in order to fix it, in that case, this is called an operation. These are the answers displayed for you to see. We're going to go on to the next part, which is true or false. Now, I want you to reread the blog that is displayed on the lower hand side. And then you're going to be answering whether those sentences are true or false. If we look at number 1, Sameh used to be in Ahmed's class. So, Sameh used to be in Ahmed's class. This is correct. It's already done for you. It's modeled for you. So, we're going to be working on numbers 2 to 5 together. Please write down your answers in your notebooks, and we're going to be checking them together. Now, we will go to number 2. Sameh did not smoke. Is that true or false, guys? If you're not sure, you can always go back to the text. But definitely, our main topic is about Sameh smoking. So number 2 is true or false, guys? What do you think? It is false. He smoked all the time. Let's go on to number 3. Sameh talked to his friends, but they did not help him. Do you think this is true or false, guys? You can always look at the second paragraph to check whether it's true or false. And the answer is automatically false. He did not talk to his friends about it. So therefore, he should have talked to his friends and they could have helped him. Number 4, Sameh's lungs were damaged because he smoked too much. Do you agree that he smoked too much? Yes, of course. He had lung disease from smoking too much. This is also in the second paragraph. You can find it. Let's look at number 5. Sameh stopped smoking and became healthy again. Now, this is also true or false. Let's look at the ending and find the answer. The last paragraph states he has stopped smoking and has started to study again. I am sure he will pass his exams this year. So basically, Sameh did stop smoking. It's correct. It's true. Number 5 is true. And he became healthy again. Now, wrap up for lesson 1. Today we have learned to speak about problems at home and at school. And we also read a blog and we answered questions. Thank you guys. This was awesome today. We're going to go on to lesson 2. Hi guys. This is a continuation of Unit 11. We'll be working on lesson 2. We're going to be using verbs correctly in our sentences through speech. Now, let's look together at the objective. Today, we're going to be using might, must, and should correctly. Now, let's practice. You are going to underline the verbs in each sentence. Number 1 is done for you. Let's look at it together. He might have become addicted to smoking. So over here, we're going to underline have become. Those are the verbs. Let's look at number 2. He should have talked to his parents. Now try to answer number 2 in your notebooks, guys. You're going to find the verbs. So in number 1, might was used, might have. Number 2, we're going to find should have talked, and we're going to underline it. Let's look at number 3. They might have helped him with his problems. Now, the verbs that we're going to underline are might have helped. Number 4, it must have been very difficult for Sameh. Now, we're going to underline must have been. And number 5, we're going to read it together. He must have regretted starting to smoke. In that case, we're going to underline must have regretted. Okay. Those are the answers. You can check together, guys. And we're going to go to our favorite part of the day, the grammar box. The grammar box has the grammar rule along with examples to help us. Now, we're going to be reading the first example in red, which is, I might have seen this film already. I can't remember. Ali's arm hurts. He might have broken it. All of these examples show us that this is something that has been talked about in the past. It's a possibility in the past. So we can use might plus have plus past participle to talk about the possibility of something that maybe might have happened in the past. Let's look at the second examples in red. I must have left my notebook at home. That means I'm sure that I left it at home. So if I say I must have left my notebook at home, it probably means that I'm sure I have forgotten my notebook at home. There is no train to Omar's village. He must have taken the bus. Here, it means that I'm sure that he did not take the train. So if there's no train in Omar's village and I say he must have taken the bus, it means that I am sure he did not take the train. In that case, we use must plus have plus past participle to talk about things that we are sure happened in the past. So the first example was about the possibility of something in the past. So we're not sure if it happened or not. It could have happened or maybe it didn't happen. But in the second example, we use must have plus past participle to talk about things that we are sure have happened in the past. The third example in red. Examples in red. I should have booked a seat on the train and now there are no seats left. You shouldn't have gone to bed late last night. Now you are very tired. Now, if we look at those examples, we'll notice that we use should have for expressing a recommendation or a suggestion or even to regret something that happened in the past. So we use should or shouldn't plus have plus past participle to express a recommendation or a regret about a past situation. Please remember the two types of rules in terms of using might, must, and should. You can always refer back to the grammar box if you feel confused. Now, we're going to move on to the matching activity. We're going to read the sentences on the left-hand side and try to match them with the sentences on the right-hand side. So number 1 is done for us. Nawal must have been very tired. So let's try and find out probably why she's tired. So let's look together. Before you use my computer, or but I might have been wrong, or she fell asleep on the bus home, or he might have left it at the bus stop. Definitely, if we look at Nawal, we're going to know that she must have been very tired. So probably C makes more sense to match it with number 1. And in that case, we'll say she fell asleep on the bus home, and that's why Nawal must have been very tired. Now let's look at number 2. Hamdi can't find his bag. Let's try to find the answer. Before you use my computer, or but I might have been wrong, or he might have left it at the bus stop. If Hamdi cannot find his bag, it's probably because he might have left it at the bus stop. So number 2, for number 2, the answer is D. Let's look at number 3. I thought my answer was correct before you used my computer, or but I might have been wrong. If I say I thought my answer was correct, that's probably because it is incorrect. In that case, number 3 is B. I might have been wrong. Let's look at number 4. You should have asked me. Okay, if somebody takes something without permission or uses something that belongs to you, you might tell them, you should have asked me before you use my computer. So, number 4A. Now, let's look at exercise 3. This is basically, you will practice speaking using might or must have or should or shouldn't have. Now, let's look at the bubbles on the right-hand side. These are two girls talking to one another. The first girl on the left-hand side is saying, she should have worked harder. So her friend says, she might not have done enough revision. So what do you think happened here? Do you think maybe their friend did not pass the exam? That's a possibility, right? Okay, let's look at number 1 and try to make sentences about these situations using might or must have or shouldn't have. Your friend did very badly in the exams. Now, I want you to try and explain what might have happened in that case. Some possible answers would be, she should have worked harder or she might not have revised enough. So if I say your friend did very badly in the exams, in that case, we can say she should have worked harder or she might not have revised enough. Let's try to practice with number 2. Your little brother ate a lot of sweets and now feels ill. Now, what do you think is, what kind of recommendation should we give? Or what kind of sentence can we create using might or must have or should or shouldn't have? In that case, a possible answer would be, he shouldn't have eaten so many sweets. If your little brother ate a lot of sweets and now feels ill, then he shouldn't have eaten so many sweets. This is a past recommendation. Number 3, you usually go to the park with your friend on Saturday, but last week your friend did not come. Now we can add a part by saying he should have told you or she should have told you. Guys, I encourage you to practice using might or must have with your family members and your friends, along with should or shouldn't have. Today's wrap-up is, we have practiced using might, must, and should correctly. So guys, that's a wrap-up. Thank you. This was Ms. Sara Bassiouni with you today. I hope you guys can practice all your verb tenses in both speaking and writing. Have a good day.